Well folks, we are back for Special Projects Pack number 7. Of course we skipped over a month because of Polyphony's weird update release schedule, and this time we're back on form. I wanted to wait to see if we would have anything at the start of the month again. It seems not, so we're rolling out this pack. This time around, as you'll have seen from the trailer, we've got a few returning faces in the form of some Gran Turismo 5, 6 kind of replicas. We're starting off though with a new debut, of course, the GR Corolla. And for this one, it's of course a hybrid, kind of a replica, but not really, because this isn't a real car per se. This is inspired by the 2023 WRC regulations, and visually certainly inspired by the Yaris WRC. Now, in real life, the current cars are running about 500 horsepower. That is with a hybrid system, though. So, of course, on this one, we're relying more so on just the engine. 1.6, well over 400 horses, but still nowhere near what they're running. And, of course, the weight is what they are running as well. A minimum weight of 1,260 kilos, which is exactly what we've got. Now, of course, I'll have put up on screen that you can grab this particular livery and add it to your library down in the description, but as far as the tuning parts, and incidentally you will need the wide body kit to fit that one. As far as the tuning parts though, we've got the Stage 1 weight, of course. As far as the Club Sports section, we've got the high lift cams. You'll notice I have not bored out the engine. The reason for that is to keep it down around the 1.6 litre mark. I guess you could do it if you wanted a little bit more power, but trust me, it really doesn't need it, so you'll see in a second when we take it out on the dirt. You want the Stage 2 weight, of course, the power restrictor for when you might need it, and the ballast, of course, as well. We've got the dirt tyres fitted, naturally. As far as the semi-racing stuff, we've got the crank, the fully customised ECU. I've actually purchased the low RPM turbo, and I tested that one out, and it works so well that you really don't even need to think about the high range and mid-range. The low range is perfect for a rally. And again, even with the higher end ones, it's not really bringing you that much closer to 500 horsepower anyway, and it actually has less torque. So, like I said, it really is perfect for rallying, of course. We've got the fully customised limited slip diff, Stage 3 weight. As far as the body rigidity, I have opted not to do that. Of course, you could if you want to, but I haven't bothered with it. Again, it doesn't really feel like it needs it, to be honest. The balance tuning, the polish ports, the anti-lag is fitted and turned on as well. We've got the race silencer, filter, intercooler, manifold, pads and discs. Like I've said before, it doesn't really matter if you go for drilled, vented or ceramics, so I'll leave that down to you. We've got the torque vectoring center diff, the race clutch and flywheel race suspension, transmission, and then for the extreme stuff, as I always like to do with my rally builds, we've gone for the steering angle and the hydraulic handbrake, which are typically more for drifting, but since rally is pretty close to drifting anyway, those do come in handy. And for the ultimate stuff, we've gone for the titanium rods and pistons and the carbon drive shaft. So we've pretty much fitted everything except for NOS, boring out the engine, and the high range turbos. So, as far as the tuning goes, and I will say I expected this to be pretty good, turns out it's a ballistic missile because this thing is monstrously quick on the dirt. You want your dirt tyres fitted, of course. For the suspension, we've got 140mm of ride height, 5 on anti-roll, 35 for the compression on the dampers, with 40 on the rebound, 2.95 for the frequency on the springs, half a degree of camber on the rear, 1 on the front, and then for the toe, I've towed in 0.5 on the front to help with that turn in. We've got none on the back, you don't really need it. As far as the diff, we've got 10, 10, 30, and then 20 with a 50-50 torque split. That is perfect for my driving style, so give it a try. If you want to change something, of course you can, and if you want to come back to this one, that's what the video is for. So of course you can reset to this if you want to. As far as the transmission, we've got a very, very close ratio box, 230 kilometers an hour, which of course on a road course would be way too short, but on a rally course it's pretty much perfect. As far as the ballast, you want 133 kilos, and technically you don't actually need to do as much weight loss as I did, but the reason why I did that is so that with the ballast I could bring us a bit closer to a 50-50 split, just to make it feel even more like a motorsport car. So 133 kilos, I'll put that all the way to the back, which brings us up to a 54-46 split, which is still a nice amount over the front to get that back end out anyway. The power and ECU are untouched. I'm running the full downforce kit on this one. As I said, the low RPM turbo, of course. For anti-roll, that is set on strong. I know different people have different preferences, and since fuel economy doesn't tend to matter too much on a dirt course, it doesn't really matter if it uses more fuel most of the time. All the other stuff here is fitted, as you can see, and then you can compare all the stuff that we've done here to all of the stuff that I showed you. So with the tune out of the way, Now, of course, let's jump out to a dirt track and I can show you what this thing can do in action. This thing is tremendously quick. In fact, it's so much better than I expected it to be. I guess I shouldn't be surprised because the GR is already kind of a road-going rally car in its vibe. It's a Toyota, and of course they get preferential treatment, much like Porsche and Nissan used to. This thing is so quick on the dirt and it's so much fun to drive, and it's one of the relatively few rally builds that I've done in special projects that actually has four-wheel drive. Usually the ones that I do tend to be front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, like classic stuff. This one is monstrously quick. It's not even that far behind the Escudo around this track. It's that fast, which is insane for something with 430 horsepower. And again, to put it into perspective, I think this was something like 6 or 7 seconds quicker than my rally build for the 911, the 911 RGT rally car from the earlier days of special projects. So tremendously fast, legitimately one of the quickest rally builds I've done, certainly in this series. It's one of the quickest rally builds I've taken around this track as well, so if you do decide to use it, this is easily one of the standouts of pack number 7 for me. I feel like for a lot of other people as well. Some people, I'm guessing, might not have the Corolla yet. If you don't have it already, then it will be available, I believe, at the end of this month. Whenever it rolls out, of course, you can always put it in the comments because I don't recall exactly when that was. But if you do have it, I hope you have a lot of fun with it. And if you do it later on when you have got the car, then of course I hope you have fun with it then as well. So of course, stick around for the rest of the week. We've got 9 more builds coming in pack number 7, with the second one on the way later on today. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.